Hi everybody, this is Carl Mazer. I've had a lot of requests on how to make a wave with the acrylic fluid pour style, and so I decided to put together this tutorial. And I'm coming to you live from my wonderful, dramatically beautiful garage. Oh, there's my car. Don't look at all that. I have my space out here, and one day I'm going to build a better space. But for right now, I wanted to show you what I'm going to start out with to make one of the blue waves that I always do. First, I wanted to talk about these little doodads I found right here to keep your water and everything in. You can adjust the tip so you can cut it to however much you want out. And I do use the Elmer's glue. So I got the Elmer's glue right here, silicone spray right there, and to top it all off I do the Mod Podge gloss. On this one I'm going to do a little smaller palette knife, but I wanted to talk about those plastic things. They come from Pure Joy Concepts. I got them on Amazon, and here is what you can search on Amazon. 7-pack squeeze, I don't know what that means, 10 free blank labels. And then I also got a little microphone for 10 bucks. That's what I'm talking on right now. It's just this little doodad right here, and I even have a fan going on in here, and it's like totally quiet. It also comes in with a little case and an extender and more wind socks for when you talk. I'm gonna go through on this session the different colors that I use, and we'll go from there. All right, I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, cool. I am ready to get started on this project. Let me get my iPhone set up here. I've got to start it out wide like that, otherwise it wants to flip the screen over, and you don't want to watch me on an upside down screen. Okay, I think that's good. Okay. Scoot up to the plate here. First off, I'm going to put the pins on here. And this is an Artist Loft canvas. And it's also a few days after my back surgery. So I'm in a bit of pain, but I had to get out here and the garage and do something awesome. And I wanted to show you all how to don't mess up my canvas. Show you all how to do the little waves that I do. So it looks like this is uneven, so I got to get this even. Because sometimes that really makes a big difference. Let's see if it'll go better that way. It's about the same. Okay, so I have to use for paints. This is metallic cobalt blue. It's got metallic flakes in it or whatever. I've already mixed up some of that. I put a little water on top while I was getting set up so it wouldn't get dry on me. So I put the paint in, I put the Elmer's glue in, and then some shots of the distilled water until I got it to a pretty thick consistency. Because I like when this goes on a little bit thicker, because that metallic coat once I hit it with the white and the other colors that are a little bit thinner, you start to get some really good swirls and cells. This is Artist Loft Color Turquoise. So I've had Elmer's glue in here and water as well. So now I'm going to switch over to a blue I always use is Real Blue. Make sure I get all the junk out of there. Squeeze some Real Blue in there. I'm going to get a lot of it in there because I'm going to do a painting after this too. I kind of want to use this. Oh, that makes a great noise. Yummy. So I've got these cool new little things I'm using. I'll stick that in there. Put the glue in there. Do. That's going to be a lot of paint. Oh well, I'll use it. I'll even go a little more PVA. I'm like shaking tonight. I probably should be resting, but there's no rest for me. Not when there's fluid painting to do. Thank you, Inigo Montoya. Okay. Get this thin down. I think you can still see over here. I think so. Yeah, there we go. Hey, I can actually stand. I love this little microphone. It gives me the freedom to do what I want to do, and you all can hear me. Y'all can hear me from Texas. Not that I'm making fun of people from Texas, but I actually moved to Utah from Missouri, so I can't make fun of anybody. Just mixing. So I want to keep that blue, this dark color, a little bit thicker too. I'm going to add just a hair more water. But not too much. And you notice I'm not adding any silicone spray yet. I'm saving the best for the last. I'm not doing that to the silicone spray anymore. And I'm just going to keep rolling. If I make a mistake, so be it. You just might have to fast forward through it. Because it's a lot easier to just upload this from my iPhone. Because when I do it through my editor, Adobe Premiere, it takes forever to render it out. Okay, this color and kind is Basics. It's light blue. Go. Yummy. Got some glue. I try to match how much paint with the glue. If it's darker, you might be able to go even more. You know, what I found out is if you take the paint, put it in, the glue, put it in, mix it around, get it going, then put in your water, you don't get that big chunky stuff. Watch it make me a liar. because I noticed when I did the white, man, I really got like all this chunky stuff when I just did the white paint and the water. But the PVA really helps level that out. It makes everything nice and smooth. Now this color, I want a little bit thinner. So I put the mix in here because I know if you make videos and you don't show people how you mix your stuff, then they're kind of like, oh, what did you do? There's some trade secret there. Still too heavy. This doesn't really help me bending over like that very long. I hope I'm patient enough to to do this video. Patience. Thanks to Danny for letting me join the Misfits group. I'll also post this over to Acrylic Flow and some other ones, but it's been really cool being a part of the Misfits. Okay, so I think that's about good. I don't want it too thin. And I know that's a lot of paint, but again, I'm going to do a bigger canvas that I have back here, about this big. So, let me see what we got here. It's almost like mixing ice cream. It's so cool. I think I'll just take a bit of that and pour it in there. Do this all in one fell swoop. Uh-oh, see it's starting to get chunky a little bit. It's not really too cool out here in my garage either. It's probably about 80 some degrees. So that's not the best ticket. Now she's gonna need more than that. It's a she. I don't know if any of others of you out there, other viewers out there, have ever watched Annie Marie Ritterhoff. Yeah, she was kind of my inspiration when I first started watching the YouTube videos. There was a gal on Facebook, the Insider. It's called Insider, and I saw her do some fluid art about a month ago, and this is how I really got into it. I was like, dude, I have to do that. I have to try that. So again, that's not too thick. I want that a little bit thinner. I want my white and the lighter colors to be a little bit thinner. I'm already 12 minutes in. Yeehaw! Okay, so I think that's good. So I've got all the colors going. For my white, I actually have my white mixed up in here. So I've got it pretty thin. And then I'm actually going to either spray some of the silicone spray in here, shake it just a hair, and then put it on like that and see what happens. Because that might save me some time. Okay, now to start, I want to start out with a metallic blue that's dark here because for some reason it's just flippin' awesome. So first I'm going to kind of get my wave idea on here. Something like that. So now I have my idea on there. I'm just going to kind of pour a little bit. And I don't want to do too much at first because if you do, you'll kind of screw up stuff. You can't really screw up in this fluid art business, but we always feel like we do, you know. It's like, oh no, I had this idea, blah blah blah. So I'm basically just getting a base coat of this down. And that's pretty thick. This is thicker than I've had it in the past. But I want to see if I can get some really big cells this time off of here. Just kind of spread that out. I don't know what I'm doing. I could be using my little palette man over here. Oh, another thing that you really need to know, something that I do, is I always have a towel to wipe off with, to start with a clean palette, because if you keep going back over with the dirty palette, you'll just start mixing those colors too much, and you don't want to mix them too much. You want a good mix on there, but nothing crazy. Okay, so let's get this going over here. So this is nothing like a dirty pour, huh? Alright, so there's my basic wave. Now, I'm going to wipe this off. And I have a fresh towel handy, just in case. Now, I'm going to do some white. Oh, and I forgot to add silicone to this. I do about 2 squirts, about 3 rotations in there. So I'm gonna squirt a little in my white there. Ooh, that looks cool. You can get a little bit high on the silicone spray, so be careful there. You don't want to get too loopy. Now I'm just gonna go with some white and put it out here. And this might be totally stupid, but I haven't tried this yet. But I think it's going to look cool. So I'm going to do that. Set this over here. I'm going to do some light blue. Whoa. Okay. A little bit there. And that is way too much paint, really. But I want to have a sky this time, but I don't want it to have the same color. So all I want to do is try and get that paint to meet up. Like they're going to hook up on a date right here between this white line and that. And I know I've got way too much up here, so I might actually shovel a little bit out, because I don't need that much up there. Uh-oh, I've already messed up a little bit. That's okay. That's what happens. Get some of that going up there. Try and preserve all the paint I can, I guess. And you don't have to worry about it showing through there, because seriously, that's all going to be filled in. Okay, so now I'm going to come in with, well, I was going to do a little darker blue up there, but I think I'm just going to do a little bit of this right up there. And I'm going to put in just a hair more of this light color. Oh man, I'm forgetting to silicone spray. Duh. Dumb. I forget things, you know. So now I'm just going to get this background going. Uh-oh. I accidentally hit my wave there. Botching it up. That's okay. So I'm actually gonna, let's see, let's add some of the other colors first. Let me put on some silicone there. So I kind of just get it in the angle of the wave. Put a pretty good spray on that. And then down here where it's going to be kind of deep and dark, put a little more down in here. Okay, now I'm going to grab another palette knife, maybe this little fat boy here. But I'm going to do this number. And don't be afraid to let it come off. I don't think this little palette knife is going to work. And I'm wiping this off, see? So I want the area of the wave to come around and off. My paint is a bit thick. I might have got my white too thick this time, but we will see. And I try and keep into the shape of the wave of how it would look. So I want to kind of come back this way. And then push it. Because the wave has to have some splash on it. And right there, it has to have some, some fun stuff going on. And that's what happens when you drop your palette knife on the actual canvas itself. Thank you. I had back surgery because in 2006 I fell on the ice and it sucked really bad after that. I don't know what else I can do with this sky up here. Maybe just do some of this. And I'm gonna mix up some white in a cup to get it more thin. Because that's not looking too cool. I like my white to kind of make the other colors blend together. And I hope you're understanding all this. Before I start that, I'm going to hit this with my little heat gun here. This is an embossing heat tool. Got some small cells going on, but I bet some bigger ones pop up. It's looking really cool in there. So now I just want to get my white and give it some good shots of the silicone, because I want the white to really bubble. And that is still so thick. Normally I don't have my white that thick. I didn't know what I was bloody thinking. So I'm just going to lay it in there. Oh man, I keep forgetting to do that too. So now I'm just going to do that number. Because there's got to be a lot of ocean spray on there to make it look real. Kind of hard to get the right angle. But as long as you angle it back, that you'll be good. You can even kind of push some down here like that and make it look a little bit more real. Like that. And that's looking pretty cool. There's some big old cells coming up over here, and this dude, when the paint's really thick, it takes it a while. Now watch right in here, it'll get going. We'll get a little action going on. Dig up a little of that color. Dig up a little bit more color there. Let it set just a bit. So it's a pretty cool wave. I'm not excited completely about it. I'm not completely excited about it, I mean. I should have thinned that down just a hair more. I'm just going to do that to the top of it real quick, because I'm in a hurry. I don't want this paint to dry up too much. You know, it is 80 degrees in my garage. La 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 la. Use this little round palette. And I thought about making little like swirls for the sky. Just to give it some texture or something going on. So wipe that off. Come back, and I'm going to use just a hair of this blue over here and just do this ever so slightly. Like that. Then maybe just a touch of this green. Lay that in there ever so slightly. And this is getting all kind of dry out here. This can actually be a little bit choppy water going on. I'm gonna spray that just a tad. put just a skosh of white on that. I know that's already drying up there. But I want that to look real under there. And that white is awful thick. Use a little silicone. Oh, whoops. I forgot to do this here. Still a hair right there. It's amazing when it wants to start drying up fast. It'll get you. Like seriously, sometimes I'll even come back over and swipe it again. I'm not afraid to. Okay, let's take a look from above. What do we got going here? So that's pretty cool. I need just a little bit of this color, this metallic in here. Whew, I'm hurting bending over like this, that's for sure. I'm going to do a little bit more water on top here. Get that kind of thin just for this little deal right here. And then I'm going to do just a little dab like that. And I hope that works. It's just a hair more white. Right in there. I want it to look natural. It's amazing what you can do with a popsicle stick. Absolutely amazing. Oh, let's see. Just a little on there. Oops, that was a little dark. That's the dark stuff. I didn't want that, but that's okay. Sometimes I've found that the more you try and shape it, the worse. Whereas you can just go ahead and hit it and let it bubble a little bit. Alright, I'm going to do just a hair more white, like right in here. Just make sure I cover all the edges. Which is sometimes hard to do. It's like you get this paint flow and it doesn't want to cover totally. Cool. So anyways, that's how to do a wave. It's not my best wave ever, of course, but it's pretty cool. I think it will dry really nice and look fun. And I've been trying to use the Artist Loft canvases because they're just so much higher quality. They don't run around, they don't sag. As long as you take pretty good care of them, by the time you're coming from the store to start to paint, you'll have pretty good success with them. But there is my wave for tonight, and I'm going to put this up, let it dry, and I hope you enjoyed.